All right, I think we're good to go. What's going on, guys? We're back again. Another week with Green Beans Go here at Wolf Sports, previewing the weekend golf tournament. Hey, maybe not as much excitement as many people have going into the Masters weekend, but nonetheless, I think there's still money to be made, right? There's still cash on the table. So that's what we're going to run through some information, preview this tournament, try to help you steer you in that direction, right? Green Beans Go here again today. What's going on, man? How excited are you for the RBC Heritage?
I'm hoping that last week's fireworks will pull more people into the sport of golf. I think there were a lot of casual viewers who watched the final 5, 6 holes unfold at the Masters. And I know the RBC Heritage is not normally something that pulls a lot of attention, but I'm hoping that we can use the momentum of the Masters to get people interested in the RBC Heritage. So I'm excited. I'm always excited for golf signature event this weekend, which means slightly smaller pool of players, more money, more FedEx Cup points. So it's still a good course at Harbor Town. So I would encourage anyone who was excited about the Masters and may not call themselves a golf fan to tune into this one because I think it could be equally as entertaining.
Yeah, no doubt. But I guess before we get too deep into this, should we do a little quick recap on some
Please.
Master stuff from last week?
Yeah, we can do a quick
Um,
recap. And I've color coded this and I've not given you the code to the colors. So I'll explain that. I posted this on Twitter and somebody called me out about the highlighters that I did not clarify what they meant. So that's on me. Yellow means they were top 20. So 8 of the 22 players listed here, the model found top 20. The 3 that were blue were 21st. So I kind of want to skew the data a little bit and plug them in and say that over half of the guys on here, or I guess exactly half, were in the top 21. 5 of the 22 missed the cut. And then at the top, the model loved Rory, and Rory ended up winning. Scotty didn't do too bad. Xander found his way eventually. And then Sung J M here, the 6th on there at the longest odds of 110 to 1. The model just absolutely loved him for some reason. We couldn't necessarily figure it out, and he got 5th. So it feels pretty good to have the model perform in the way it did. And we'll run it back this week and see what kind of options it gives us.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I can, speaking from, I guess, my personal endeavors here with the Masters last week. I think on the top end, we had some guys right. We nailed it. We had some anchors that dragged us down. Unfortunately, I had some late additions. I will say one guy who's not on this sheet that I feel like I was kind of pounding the table a little bit for. Patrick
Patrick
Reed.
Reed.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I was just saying, like, ignore the numbers, ignore the data.
Yep.
This is Patrick Reed's turf, so you could expect him to deliver, and he did. Um,
And the guy that I was incessantly insulting, Bryson,
yeah, we
did
were
pretty
wrong
well. He
there.
was in the
We were
final
wrong there.
final
Yeah.
group. Kind of fell apart on the last day, but all in all, he was on here, so I guess I'll take some credit for that, but I didn't endorse him, so I guess I have to take away all the credit from that. So
Yeah, Willie
we
Z
can,
is the guy who killed me. I had him. I didn't even remember talking a ton about him on the stream. He was a guy that I decided to make as a late addition into some pools and DFS lineups and stuff. And just he'd never had a bad round. He'd never finished any worse than top 10 in
yep.
three times. And you know, he decided to he really just went out and shit the bed, to put it pretty bluntly, I guess. But hey, we move on. We had a couple live fires, I think, on Xander that helped not make it too bad. And, the Patrick Reed stuff. Like I said, the Patrick Reed stuff helped put some food on the table there. So yeah, I guess we can start moving forward into the upcoming RBC Heritage.
Yeah,
Pretty
let's talk briefly about that in terms of history here. Par 71, so significantly shorter than what we saw last week at Augusta. It is a signature event, as I mentioned, which basically means that it's worth more, both monetarily and points wise, in terms of the aggregation towards the FedEx Cup playoffs. So people do care about this event. Hideki and Rory, I believe, are two, if I don't want to say the only two and be wrong, but they may be the only two of the main guys from the field last week who are not in this field. Looking at 3 previous years at this event, Scotty won it last year, Fitzpatrick the year prior, Jordan Spieth, and a guy we love to talk about on the show, Patrick Cantlay, third last year, third the year before, second the year before. So Cantlay has an eye for this course. He has success here. Interested to see where the model puts him. Outside of that, Spieth, you see a top 5 2 out of the last 3 years. The Gala has been in the top 5 2 out of the last 2 years. So it's a pretty sticky course in terms of if you do well once, you tend to do well, which we saw at Augusta. But it's a different setup. So we can talk about what that setup actually entails because, like I said, it is almost the opposite in terms of what we saw at Augusta. So the most important statistic on this course is strokes gained approach. These greens are tiny. They are the smallest greens on tour, which means iron play into the green is going to be the most important statistic. And the least important is driving distance, which we said was a huge thing last week. So we've, again, flipped it completely around. Distance quite literally does not matter here. One of the least important statistics possible. It's a short to medium course. I would call it a short course. Fairways are incredibly narrow, tree lined everywhere, lots of dog legs. Um, the way that I'm thinking about this is Scotty could probably break his driver on the first swing and still win this tournament. Now, could he do that at Augusta? Probably not. He couldn't win it with his driver, but the driver is way less important here. It is on the coast, so wind can be a big deal, which again ties into that approach play, being able to not only be accurate on your approach but adjust for the wind. This is a thinker's course more than it is a bomber's paradise. Of the 14 holes that are not par threes, 11 of them accuracy is the most important in terms of accuracy versus distance. Hole 9 is the one of the 3 exceptions. Hole 9 is a fun one, so if you want to tune in to this, even if it's just going to be Sunday, watch for hole 9. It's a 324-yard par 4. Some guys will lay up, but I think most will try to go for the green there. So it's always fun to watch guys try to drive a par 4 in one. But yeah, the bottom line is everything you looked at last week or we talked about last week in terms of statistics that matter, scratch it off because this is a different beast at Harbor Town. Course history, we good, or do you want to comment on any of this stuff?
No, yeah, I always find it interesting the contrast going from Augusta to this, and like it just kind of shows how well rounded some of the very top end golfers are, how well rounded their game is to be able to kind of shift. Um, you know, there's guys that are obviously course horses, right? But then there's guys that their game travels, and to just kind of like play almost not a different game, but really have a completely different strategy, um, and what works and what doesn't, week after week. I think it just kind of speaks to how impressive some of the talent level is on the higher end.
Agreed. Yeah, and so you're going to see Scotty. No spoilers, but you're definitely going to see Scotty on the model pop up. He's a guy who can do it all on any course. And if anybody that is watching has questions, don't forget there is a comment section. There is a chat box. We're happy to clarify anything or answer any questions you may have. This is some course history statistics. These are the players, the rounds they've played at this course, and then their total strokes gained at this course. So Scotty Scheffler, Only 8 rounds. I say only because of every player on this list who has gained at least a half a stroke at Harbour Town, he has played the least. So, how do you factor that in? Do I think he's gonna go out and gain strokes this week? Yeah, probably. So even though it's a small sample size, I would still say it's pretty accurate. Again, Cantlay, we talked about his back to back to back top 5 finishes, so you wouldn't expect him to not be up there. Berger's up there. Some guys I have put a little red T by that I think are interesting. Matt Kuchar, if you want to go strictly based on course history, that's a guy whose price is probably nuts if he's in the field. Brian Harmon, same thing. Corey Connors. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the thing on Kuchar though, that, like, it makes sense because this is a guy that's not necessarily a bomber, but he's like a straight down the middle of the fairway, consistent guy. So if that's what you're
Yeah.
saying is
Let me see his odds.
the name of
Let me
the
double
game
check.
here, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. 200 to 1 on FanDuel. So yeah, if you wanna
I
if
know
you
he's
wanna
a guy that on
fun,
these type of courses that are narrow and require accuracy, uh, he a lot of times is a guy that I'll throw into my DFS
right.
lineup
Yeah.
because it's super, super cheap, but, like, he's not gonna kill you. He's very, very likely to make the cut. So, yeah, I just said that was funny that, you mentioned the Matt Kuchar. That it immediately popped out to me. It's like, "Hey, this is a guy I usually, really strongly gravitate to on these type of tracks."
Yeah. Definitely a DFS or a top 10 or 20 guy
Yeah.
if we look at the odds in a little bit. Brian Harmon, I can't even tell you what he did last week. If he made the cut or not. He looked okay the first round, first few holes. I mean, he was coming off that win, but again, another guy who doesn't hit the ball too far, but if he's putting well and his approach plays good, he's played 20 rounds here and he's gained almost a stroke and a half. So he might be worth a look. Corey Connors kind of fell apart on Sunday at the Masters, but he still ended top 7, I think. Russell Henley really fell apart at the Masters. And I said in last week's video, even though I liked him, his distance off the tee could be the one thing that hurts him. And I think in some ways that was true. Distance doesn't matter here, so maybe he can bounce back. And then Sepp Straka is another guy who caught my eye. 18 rounds here, missed the cut last week, did he not? Or close to it. Didn't have a good week
I think
regardless.
he
So
did, yeah.
another guy maybe worth a look. So we can talk just quickly about the model trials that I ran. I ran 10 trials again. So how I do this is I focus on different weights and metrics for each of the trials. Strokes gained, course history, putting, par 3 scoring, birdie or better percentage, bogey avoid, just you name it, the stats are in there. And so I focus just kind of on a feeler, just based on what I know about RBC and the stats that matter. I focused on who is in good form recently, focused on course history, not only here, but at similar courses. I took 5 of the most similar courses to this course and plugged those in. Focused on 5 key stats: approach, par 3 scoring, short courses, um, scrambling, birdie or better. And again, you guys most likely don't care about all these trials, but I just want to kind of show you some of the things that I do to build it. I'll show you the aggregate in a second. So if you want to just screenshot these and you can look and see who appears where and how often, you can do that. I don't need to talk through them. This is sort of the aggregated list that might be a little bit easier. On the left is the main chart that I would really use. On the right are just the guys who out of 10 trials appeared only once. What do you do with that? If they appear only once, I probably don't give them much attention just because there was probably some blip in one of the weights that caused them to shoot on. I'm more looking at guys who appear, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times, which are these guys right over here. So as you see, there is a player, a score. I've aggregated not only their number of appearances, their total score, and then what their average score is. which we talked about last week. Sung J Im's average score was lower, but he appeared 6 to 8 times. So I said, what matters more appearances or a higher score? I think in some ways, more appearances matter. So again, you see it. Sung J Im has appeared 6 times out of 10, but he didn't appear too high on the model. But I would prefer a 6 and a 67 over a 4 and a 71, a 4 and a 79. So again, golf is hard. This is difficult to model. There's so much variance. There's so many things that can happen. But according to what we know about the RBC heritage, according to what we know about Harbor Town, according to the stats that have historically mattered here, this is the list. So what I thought we could do, if you didn't mind, Zach, is I did not fill this out. Normally, I have been. So I thought if you wanted to, I think, and people in the chat could chime in, just walk through this and we can kind of build our own betting card as we go, see what we like, talk through some of these guys in specifics rather than me just coming in here and saying, this is what I'm betting. So if we want to do that, this
Yeah,
is this
yeah,
is the data
sure.
I have, so we can look through these. I just want to know that somebody's in here. I mean, good grief. Throw an emoji. Throw something in here.
Yeah, maybe our guys aren't gunning for the mod position anymore, you know.
Yeah. I mean, are there other shows right now that are making the cake? Are there is there a a boxing match today that I wasn't aware of? What is happening?
Yeah, maybe
Um,
another you know, many people are watching the other RBC Heritage streams. I
right.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, they can watch it on the rerun. I know you're not a Scotty guy at low numbers. You interested at all in Scotty here?
Not particularly.
Do you
And
know what?
it has nothing to do with I mean, as we've covered before, it has nothing to do with like doubting his ability or like it's not fading him. It's just he can't win every single tournament. And
Yeah,
and
true. But can he win
it's
this one at 4-1?
yeah, sure he can. He could have won the Masters too, but I look, I'm not gonna like pat myself on the back and be like, hey, I said he wasn't gonna win and he didn't because like obviously much greater odds that he's not gonna win than he would. But
No.
and it's not like they really offer a no market on
Right.
him.
Tapper Cash, welcome. Yes.
But
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give it a yellow at
I
four
just
to
I
one.
need to see 5 or better to really, like, get
Okay.
me to
Okay,
the
that's fair.
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a yellow because defending the title. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to not have him. But I think you're right. The number is a little slim. Okay, Colin. What's Colin sitting at? 12?
Yeah, what's going on with him? What's there was some weird he made some strange comments, I feel like, and it kinda, like, steered me off of him.
You're getting you're getting the personal. You're like me with Bryson.
Well, no, I honestly to be honest, I don't even remember what he said. I don't even remember what the comments were about. I just remember there were some weird comments, and it just if I need a reason to, like, not be on a guy or, like, talk myself out of him, it's like, "Alright, well, we're not doing this," you know?
Sure. Yeah, I see a lot of people on him. The putting scares me.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's always there, but the putting just never fully comes around. I don't think I'd be on any of these at 12-1.
yeah.
I mean, outright, and then, yeah, I don't think his numbers here are gonna be worth it there. So, what about Xander?
I mean, you you already know that I'm buying on Xander. I'm hoping to see maybe a 20 here. I haven't,
It's 14.
yeah, it's a little low, but,
A little low?
yeah.
Yeah. You take it at 20-1?
Oh, I mean, I was on him to win the Masters at 22 to 1.
Okay.
Took it after the
Yeah.
first round. I took some live like top tens, and he look, Xander's my guy. I just feel like he is consistently not priced.
What did
And
he end up last week? 21st, I think we said. I think he was
I,
21st. Yeah, because that's what. Um, yeah, because he was on the list, and I think he was one of the blue guys that just barely missed the top 20. Yeah, it's like I just think there's honestly more value in Scotty at 4-1 than Xander at 14-1. I think s- I, I don't know. I'll
yeah,
pass
so he
on
finished
Xander.
eighth at
Oh,
Augusta
Xander
last
finished
week.
8th?
Yeah, I was like, I
Okay.
know that he got inside the top 10. Yeah.
Okay. Um, hmm.
And it's like a quiet eight, right? Like
Yeah.
he finished with the same he was 5 under. So
Okay, let's do this. I keep doing that. Let's give him a red. Let's give him like a maybe. At
yeah.
14-1, we'll give him we can maybe make the argument. All right, Tommy. Fleetwood, any feelings there? Give me a
I'm just
price.
trying to here's the thing. I'm just trying to think when was his last win?
I 2008, I don't know.
Like I mean, and like look, we're obviously talking about like objective judging metrics here, but it's like when you're kind of an always the bridesmaid, never the bride type guy, like that's a top 20, top 10 guy for me. That's not an outright ticket.
So 33-1, and he's shown up 4th in terms of what the model likes. I believe what is it, 9 times
I think I
appearances?
have him in.
9?
To be honest, yeah, I do. In my like, just shoot from the hip, snap judgment. Like, let me throw together a quick
Yeah, he popped up 9
DFS
times out of
card.
10.
Because, like I said, I always try to do that with a DFS lineup. As the first one I do, I just run through it. I click guys. I don't, I might look at their player
What's
card.
what's his top
Um,
10? Do you have DraftKings open or
yeah, I
FanDuel
do.
or
But he made my first cut lineup. Like the first lineup I threw together, he was in there. So,
okay.
um, let's see.
Give me Shane and Tommy this
I
week
mean, he makes the cut, yeah,
from the
so
biased Brit. You like Tommy Fleetwood, Jay? Jay is on Tommy, 33-1. He likes the number, but he's a
yeah, he's a
biased Brit.
biased Brit. I was gonna say that before I even read that. I honestly I before I even read that he, self-identified as a, biased Brit, I was going to say those exact words.
What's what's
Um,
what's what's his top? Top
let's see some top 10 stuff.
if you can get top 10 at plus 200, 250, including ties, I might be interested.
I mean, this says DK has plus 275, Caesar's 275.
For top 10,
Yeah,
275. Okay.
for top 10.
Let me look at his history here. Because see, 33-1 feels too long. I'll be honest. 33-1 feels like there's value to be had.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't win. He doesn't win tournaments. Like I think
but
that's being
but does
priced in here. The guy
but
doesn't win.
but does the value trickle down to the top placements, right? Is it all aligned?
Yeah,
Does that
it's
make
like
sense?
top 10 Tony. When Tony Finau would be like top 10 all the
This
time and he just
year,
couldn't win.
21st, 62, 16, 14, 11, 5, 22, 21. Let's see his history at the RBC. 49, 15, 10, cut 25. So his past 3 trips here, he's made the top 20, 2 out of 3. Last year he was 49th, lost strokes in approach, lost 5 strokes on approach. Lost 5 strokes on approach and still made the cut. Did it happen on it happened the first 2 days and it's a no cut event. That's also important. I should mention no cut event. Um but he's gaining strokes approach in 6 out of his last 7 starts. Maybe top 10 isn't too bad. 275. Here's what I'm gonna do.
I was
I'm
trying
gonna
to find the last top 10 he had. Also, I mean, he's
What's
had
20?
I guess
What's top
August
20?
1st. Well, I don't. That's the Olympic. I wouldn't even count that.
What's top 20? Are we
I was
plus
seeing
money?
like plus 105 maybe. Um, Granted, I need to double check if that includes dead heats or not. But
Yeah. Okay, so here let's do this. Let's say that a top
I don't
20
know.
up.
That's one thing I've noticed. DraftKings has shifted this year. Is they now you can get it with dead heat or without. Like they
Mhm.
offer both markets,
Yeah.
which is nice.
I would be okay with a very small confidence top 20 if it's at plus 100.
Yeah,
Not I'm
yeah.
not, you know okay. All right. Daniel Berger, sort of our first whoa, our first whoa of the card here. 55 to 1 for Daniel Berger. He's 5th on the model.
Mm.
Any thoughts about Daniel Berger as it relates to anything at all? I think we mentioned him a couple weeks ago. He wasn't
He
really.
actually finished 21st at the Masters, 30 Valero. At the Players, he was 20, top 20. Arnold Palmer, 15. Cognizant Classic, 25. Finished second at Waste Management. So I know how he came up when we were discussing him a couple weeks ago, I think, about how, this was a guy that was I used to love. He was like an automatic top 20 bet for me, like most tournaments, just
Mhm.
price value based alone. And he had the injury issues, right? Where he took some time away.
Yeah,
Was it injury or
back.
maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
to do with
yeah.
his back.
Yeah. Took a year off, took some time away, but he does appear to be back in good form right now. So
Top 10. Like, listen, call me crazy. There's something about this number that I'm thinking maybe there's an outright to be had.
hmm,
55 to 1, light sprinkle.
yeah.
I think there's value. Top 10, let's see, his history here, if you care, 21st, 13th, 3rd, 33rd, 72nd. When he gains strokes on approach, yeah, he's been 3rd, 13th, and 21st. So he doesn't hate the course. And, he's playing well. Is his top 10. I wish there was if anybody has an odd screen that shows top placements, that would be very helpful. I just can't find one that has anything. I'll hang out on FanDuel if that's easier, if you're on DraftKings.
If
Um,
yeah, I mean, I have DraftKings up. I'm also using like the Action Network app, where like if you click on a guy,
oh, it'll show.
it'll show
Okay,
the markets. Now I don't know
okay,
how up to the minute those are, and as also said, some might include dead heat, some may not. So I don't want to use that as
right.
gospel necessarily, but I think it gives us a pretty rough, a general idea of what to expect here.
Burger top 10 is 320, including ties. Do you have a feeling any way about that?
I mean, I don't hate that. I'll tell you this, he's probably going straight into my lineup right now. Um, I don't know who I'm gonna pull out, but yeah, we're taking him out, or we're getting him into the DFS card. That's for sure.
Okay. What's his price? 75, 68.
83.
Oh, okay. So actually a little bit steeper than I thought, but um, yeah. I mean, we're gonna trust the model. We're gonna trust fifth best golfer suited here. Russell Henley. Let's move on to him. Blew it last week. No other way to say it.
He was one of the aforementioned anchors that
Yeah,
really killed me and kind of
yeah,
shot all my cards to hell.
yeah.
From a
Same.
DFS and pool perspective, he really screwed the pooch with the with Russell Henley last week. So he's got some splaining to do, some making up, maybe perhaps here.
Yeah, which I think he should and could here. Let me check his course history. But I think this course suits him significantly more than Augusta. So I would be okay with shaking off last week's performance, knowing that it's not. Yeah, he lost a stroke and a half putting. His history here: 12th, 19th, ninth, 12th, 19th, and ninth. Wow. Did miss the cut in 2022, I guess, when it was not a no cut event. So yeah, I mean, 3 out of 4 top 20s, fringe top 10s, playing the best golf, already won this year. But at 28-1, I don't know if I won him outright. Do we like a top?
I don't know. Maybe he needs to regroup.
Prove it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What about Ludwig here? Because if not for that triple bogey on 18 or whatever it was at the last day, um, would have had a top 5 finish.
Well, and what really bothers me is that after last year, I basically told myself I remember saying, "Oh, this guy, I'm gonna take a flyer on him to win the Masters next year." And I've had that thought in my head for a year as this guy was emerging onto the scene, as he was kind of this budding, up and coming star in the making. It looked like, and lo and behold, we got to last week, and I kind of got a little scared away. I think by some recent form
Yeah.
concerns, and I think he put a lot of those to bed. He showed up really strong outside of, like you said, he had a little blow up there that kind of cost him. But outside of that, I mean, he was very much in the mix to even be in that final playoff.
Do you like him as the same price as Colin? 12 to
No,
1.
I would. I mean, I would prefer him over Colin, to be honest. But
Are there any head to heads? Maybe you get a
yeah, yeah, I would look for
you
him as a head to head.
versus Colin.
Maybe anybody not on this list, right? Or yeah, if you could find him versus Colin in a head to head, I would take him,
Yeah. All right, Justin Thomas. I've seen a lot of people on the Twitter talking about Justin Thomas.
including Tapper Cash.
Yeah, 20 to 1 isn't generous. Like I'm not running to the window right now at 20 to 1. Let's check his history. Um well, Masters 36th, lost 3 strokes off the tee, which should not be an issue here. Approach play and around the green has been good, which is what matters here. History 5th, 25th, 35th, 8th, 75th, 11th. Played
Hmm.
pretty well last year. Um, yeah, again, Thomas is another one of those guys that I just never quite get to.
Yeah.
Uh, what's maybe a top 10? We got a plus 150. I don't hate that. Um,
I almost view JT as a little bit of an inverse of Xander, where he gets, I feel, overpriced a little bit based on the name brand recognition,
mhm,
expectations, all that. Whereas like Xander gets, I feel like underpriced.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know.
JT is just an ick at this point. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, agreed. Um, but
Yeah, I don't know that we want anything here. I mean, like you said, I mean, maybe you could look at a top 10, but I don't know. That's not really
yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
looking for that.
Aaron Rye, 45 to 1. Has success here. Is playing pretty well. Hits the ball as straight as possible. Is it Aaron Rye's time to shine?
He's a guy I had into the DFS lineup right off the bat.
79,
7900. Yeah.
27th last week, gained strokes in everything except putting. At the RBC, oh wait, he does not have success here. Sorry. 48th 2 years ago. Um, and that's it. So Hmm. Didn't putt well at all. Lost 2 strokes putting last year. Um, okay. So the course history is a little bit not tons
Shaky.
of yeah, not tons of data on that. But he could be in the mix. 45 to 1? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm what's his top 10? 270? It doesn't speak to me.
No, no. I was
Okay.
gonna say I'm out.
Okay. What about Sep? 45 to 1. Same as Aaron Rye.
Yeah,
Any
let's see. I was gonna see. Yeah, I know he missed the cut last week. He had a bad first round. He was had a really good run of form going into the Masters. I know a lot of people liked him to perform at least as kind of that mid-priced guy, but
Oh, wow. Okay. Mm. Gained strokes on approach in every event this year except one. When he has struggled, it's been off the tee, which we're gonna
mhm.
just assume is negligible at this course. Putts much better on POA greens, which is what this is. His putting splits are significantly better as compared to bent grass and Bermuda. And the kicker, history, 5th, cut 3rd. I think I'm finding a way to get to Sep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Um, so even maybe a little I like a 45 to
And a
1, a
little bounce
little
back spot too.
yeah, a little juice on an outright. Maybe what's a top 10? 280? I'm okay with a little 280 on the top 10 even. Yeah, including ties. Okay. Shane Lowry, one of my favorites this year. I mean, imagine the storyline. I mean, if you wanna decode a little bit, a Rory victory followed by a Shane Lowry victory. I mean, imagine the headlines.
Yeah, and he was really in the mix. He completely kind of pissed down his leg on Sunday at the Masters. Otherwise, I mean, he was like firmly in contention, I felt. Um yeah, what did he went 71, 68, 72. I believe he was in the top 10 going into Sunday. And he shot an 81 on Sunday. So that's not going to get it done. But
Mm, yeah. Ooh, his history here is not amazing. 64, 67, 3rd, 9th, cut 3rd, 44. So,
few top 10s, few.
very
Yeah.
streaky. Um, but this season he's gaining on approach, off the tee. When he's struggled. Ugh. Mm, I don't love the outright as much as I once thought I was going to.
Yeah.
200 top 10. I may end up staying off of this completely. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and
You like
he's a fairly pricey DFS guy as well this week.
so no for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What about Sung JM? Can he turn it around and do it again? 45 to 1. Great week last week. Full of momentum. Oh gosh.
I was gonna say, wow, I wonder how he's done the year.
His approach play this year has lost strokes, has lost 2 strokes, 6 strokes, 7 strokes, 3 strokes, 4 strokes, 5 strokes, 5 strokes. Um, and I've told you, oh gosh, oh boy. Okay, what do you do with this info? Lost strokes in 80% of his events this year, which is the most an approach, which is the most important statistic. Historically, at Harbor Town, gained approach 12th, 7th, 21st, 13th. Nearly top 20 every time he's been here, but this season he's losing an approach. So do you care about course history and and what he has proven, or do you care about recency in what he has struggled with?
That's probably enough to steer clear here.
Okay. Um, top 10 is 280. Similar to Sep. Well, see, look, it does correspond. 45 to 1 is 280. 45, yeah. Aaron Rise 270, which is 40. Yeah, so they all kind of trickle down. So that's why I think maybe with Fleetwood, there could have been a little more value if he's going to perform but not win. Um, I don't know. I mean, I want to be on Sung J M if he wins. Like, but you're right. He's missing something. Okay. I'll tell you the truth. Lucas Glover was the one guy on this list that I said, hold up. What's going on here? So, what's his DFS price?
6,900. But
Cheap.
he was on a little bit of a tear going into the Masters, and tough first day kind of had him miss the cut.
Yeah. And I don't think he was set up for that course. So the recency of that does not even remotely bother me. Yeah, because he lost strokes off the tee. His approach play's been fine. What's his history here? Come on, give us some top tens. Give me some faith. 33rd cut, 48th, 33rd, 21st, 33rd, 33rd. He's played here so much. Oh my. He has played here. Why has he played here so much? He's played here almost every year since 2005. He's played here for 20 years straight. And he's not
Never performed.
he has a 7th place in 2008. A handful of his cuts. His most recent success is 21st 5 years ago. Huh. But is it his time? If the glove fits, you must bet his
I
outright.
don't know. That's a little concerning to me.
What's your guys' thoughts on Thomas? We kind of are under the impression that he is being priced because of his name in some ways. We don't love the 20 to 1. We think there is maybe some mild value in a top 10 at plus 150. Red is like, okay, fine, I'll bet it. There's little value. Yellow's like, I feel good. Now, Zach doesn't feel good about the outright on Scotty Scheffler. I do. And then if we get a green on here, that'll be like absolutely hammer. This is the play. We haven't found any that we just are completely blown away by. Think of like red as a sprinkle, think of yellow as a standard unit, and think of green as a mega whale max, as a super max, as a horse lock, if you will. um but 90 to 1. But 90 to 1. What's top 20? What's top 20? If Lucas Glover is above 250 top 20,
But he's
I'm
played
doing
here 100 times and he's never finished top 20, has he?
it.
I mean, not that I
He's
don't know.
170. He's 170. I'll pass. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pass. But, uh, I'm going to put a teeny dot. Okay. Just like there's something in me that just feels like maybe it's Lucas's time. McIntyre, does he rebound after last week? Thoughts? I don't like it.
Yeah, Bobby Mack kind of let us down quite a bit last week. I think he's probably appropriately priced here. I
Yeah.
don't know that I like him as a lefty because correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of like hard left dog legs here.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it mixes up. There's a lot of, I could figure out what the breakdown is, but there's left and rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that makes me nervous is before his miscut, he was ninth, 11th, cut 6th. So
No, I know. That's why we loved him last week, and it's funny how quickly, like, things kinda turn, how,
yeah, his one
sentiments can
event,
change.
he's only played
Um,
here in 2021 and lost 5 strokes approach. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I will say
I'm
it's
off.
interesting. Because I'm looking at, the winner and the second and the runner up of every event here, right? And it's not a lot of, like, big time names that have been on the winning side. I mean, last year, obviously, Scotty won, but outside of that, like, Spieth
Yeah.
2 years ago, but then it's a lot of, Stuart Sink, Webb Simpson, Satoshi Kodaira, Pan Chung Seung, Wesley Bryan, Brandon Grace, Jim Furyk,
I saw, what's his
Matt
name?
Kuchar. Yeah,
Harold Varner was on there too.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
did
and,
he
like,
go to
runners
live?
up. What's that?
Did Harold Varner go to live?
Yeah, he's one of the 4 aces.
Okay. Yeah. Um,
Who could
yeah, just
forget?
kinda forgot about him. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think that's why like a
He's
Daniel
on
Berger and a
Patrick
Seb
Reed's team.
Straka. Oh, yeah, of course. Um, that's why some of these fringe guys tempt me. Sepp,
Yeah,
Berger, Lucas Glover. Now listen, I know you don't like the lefty, but Brian Harmon, 80 to 1, won 2 weeks ago. Doesn't need to hit the ball far.
I don't know. Is he gonna I can't see, like, again, this is objective reasoning here, but is Brian Harmon gonna win 2 tournaments in 3 weeks? Like like, that's I don't know.
Um, okay. I think that's a fair assessment, but let me throw you some numbers. Like 15 times he's been here, okay? 7th, ninth, 13th, 7th, 12th, 35th, 28th, 23rd, 45. Uh, Do we like a top 10? Do we like listen, at 80 to 1, I might find a way.
Yeah, I don't know.
But 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 I won't mark it down. What's his top 20? If his top 20 is plus money, are you interested?
If his top 20 will almost certainly be plus money.
160.
Mm, yeah.
Oops. Nope. Put it in the wrong slot. I don't hate it.
I'm even seeing plus 175, plus 200. Again, I don't know if that's dead heat or not, but, um, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it did he was, pretty bad last week, no?
Um, yeah, but the distance, I think, off the tee, he lost 2.5 strokes last week, which I don't
Oh,
think
well,
matters.
he finished 36, it's not terrible.
Yeah. Well, I think a 160 top 20 for a guy who knows the course isn't the worst price you'll find.
Yeah.
Okay. Now 2 guys, I'm fine with just talking about these 2 because they're Brian Campbell, Ryan Gerard. So Ryan Gerard only appeared 4 times in the model, but at an average of 72, and then Brian Campbell also 4 times, but at an average of 80. So when Brian Campbell fit the metrics, he really fit the metrics. Do you have a guess at what Brian Campbell's p price is, his odds?
I mean, it's gotta be in the 3 digits.
Yeah, plus it's 250 to 1. So here is where I think maybe we can find a play that makes sense. Because while Brian Campbell is not likely going to win this event, this is giving me Sung J M vibes from the Masters, where, okay, this guy is a clear outlier that popped up multiple times. Why? So let's look and see just at his recent performances. Let's parlay Brian Campbell and Brian Harmon and do the double Brian top 20. Brian Campbell, $6,000 on DFS. He might be a must play. Loses strokes off the tee in almost every event. Not great, but here let's maybe say it doesn't matter. Has never played at the RBC. Okay, this is starting to fall apart quickly. Gained 5 strokes approach at the Masters. Tied for 32nd, putted well, has been putting well all year. Top 20. Let's see what his number is. 290 for top 20. I think maybe he's just a DFS guy. You think you can get to him in DFS? Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying that I originally had him there on the DFS, and now I think I'm starting to get talked out of it. A lot of the things you were saying are it was adding up to that 250 to 1. I think it's starting to make a little more sense.
Okay, we'll erase it. What about Ryan Gerard? And then I'm
Yeah,
good to move on to DFS if you'd like. I don't need to talk
yeah,
about these other guys.
yeah. I know because those guys. Yeah. First Gerard, and then I'll give a quick note on some of those guys under there. Who's underneath Cantlay? It's
Denny McCarthy.
okay.
Okay, Ryan Gerard, 2nd and 9th, last 2 tournaments, didn't play at the Masters. Never played at RBC. Gaining strokes on approach nearly every event, putting well. Off the tee has not been fantastic,
Right.
but if we knock that off, okay. So, yeah. What do you think his outright is?
If I had to guess, somewhere 90, 120 to 1.
125.
Okay.
Would you sprinkle an outright on Ryan Gerard?
Again, again using non analytical research here. Does he have any outright wins on the tour?
Of course not.
Yeah.
But don't you want to be one of the guys who had his first outright win?
I don't know. I don't. Hmm.
If he wins, he wins. You know, we don't need to waste money
I
on it.
will say this. I just I did just come to a pretty a conclusion of a nice prop bet that I'm gonna look up a price on real quick.
Okay,
Something that I do like. But yeah, stand by on that as I search. But
I might go our first green here.
really?
Ryan Gerard top 20 at 240.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. I don't hate that.
Yeah, might be the best bet. Might be the best bet on here. Top 20, including ties
All
at
right.
240. Okay, what's your prop bet?
What do you think about this? Will there be a playoff?
No, Scotty's going to win by 4.
So what do you think the price is on yes?
I would take will there be a playoff at above. Let me go see how close these have been historically.
Well, don't
I
look.
can't. I
Yeah, yeah,
can't.
yeah.
My gut says 370 is fair value.
Yeah, so plus 350 is what I saw on DK. Checking a couple other spots. Um, 2 of the last 3 years have gone to a playoff here.
Okay. Alright.
And
Was Scotty's a
so
playoff?
no, he won by 3 strokes over Thigala, which shocking to see Thigala placed here based on, his player profile, but, nonetheless, so 3 strokes by Scotty, then playoff, 4 strokes, the runners up were tied. Then 1 stroke, playoff, 1 stroke, 2 strokes, playoff, 1 stroke, playoff. So that
Oh,
goes all the way back to 2013, right? And I
12
mean,
years, 50% of the time, nearly?
like over half the time they're going into playoff. I mean, what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of those years, 9 out of 13 years, it's either a playoff or 1 stroke.
Okay.
And then if you
37.
went even like beyond like before that, like 2011 playoff, 2010 playoff. So
What are their average scores?
there's a lot of playoffs here, is what
Does
I'm
it
saying.
list?
It gives me the to par.
Yeah. Like, are we minus 11-ish? Like, what's the
So what do you want? So I mean, Scotty was 19. Um,
Oh, okay.
then back-to-back playoffs were 17, 13. Spieth and Cantlay had a playoff here. That was minus 13. Webb Simpson won by 1 stroke despite shooting 22 under. Uh, beat Abraham Answer by 1 stroke. Minus 12 was 1 stroke, minus 12 playoff, minus 13 won, 18 playoff, 11 won. Yeah, so
Okay.
minus
Alright.
anywhere from -9 to -19 has won this thing over the past 12, 13 years.
Okay. Plus 350. I'll allow it.
Over half of those are playoff. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
it
think
was
that's a
just
good
something
call.
that stood out to me when I was looking here at results and I see how many playoffs there have been.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like,
mean, that's a lot.
I wonder what yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of playoffs, or one-stroke winners, so
Akshay Bhatia at 71 actually doesn't I don't hate that. I'm just trying
I
to
thought
finish
that
this
he
chart
was,
out.
v suspiciously priced low on DFS and from an odds perspective.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to write in here because this bar's in the way, which is just I mean, just an awful I mean, this is just pathetic setup by this, but, can't lay 18 to 1. What's McCarthy? Because I've been kinda liking Denny McCarthy lately. If he's over 100 to 1, I'm taking it. 55. Okay. Denny's 55. What's his, what's his status here? What were you gonna say about some of these guys at the bottom?
That I mean, those are just got, like, Connors, Finau, Cantlay, like, those guys are gonna be more times than not, they're just going to make this list, just kind of based on overall game, but I don't know, I'm not necessarily looking to invest, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, Buzzy's asking about JT Poston, if you have any thoughts on him.
I
He
wanna
didn't
say
make the cut here on this, and I wanted to follow back or
he
circle back
popped up
and follow up
once.
on, Kuchar as well. Interesting note I had pulled up on Kuchar, but yeah, go ahead on JT Poston.
Yeah, I'll give you some numbers on JT Poston. He popped up once on the model, only once. Um, just kind of been average this year, huh? Just a lot of mid-20s. History at the RBC, 5th cut, 3rd cut, 8th, 6th. What a call out by Buzzy Betts. Oh, um, oh, huh. So played here 6 times, cut twice, top 10 every other time. Funny enough, lost strokes on approach in 2 of those 4 top 10s. Dominates on putting. I mean, just putting the lights out at this course. Around the green, killing it as well. JT Poston may be somebody that's worth a shot.
Might need to ride him in.
Yeah, but good for Buzzy Betts. I talked to
Ride
Buzzy
him
Betts.
in on the ballot.
Yeah, what's let's look at his outright. 70 to 1. Top 20, do we like a top 20?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be probably close to that, under 2 to 1, above. I'd say he'd probably be somewhere above 150. I mean, I'm seeing some plus 190s.
150 on FanDuel. Yeah, that might I would feel pretty good about a JT Poston top 20 at 150. Yeah, I mean, he may have to be a ride in. You're right. Yeah. Hmm. That is a great call out.
Makes the cut, always just kind of in the, he was had a been in a pretty good run of form, even going into last week. 26, 28, 33.
Yeah. And loves the course, it seems. So that's good. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna make note of that. Um okay. I didn't build any DF. Are we good to do we feel okay where this is? I'll post it afterwards, clean it up a little bit. Um any
Well,
other thoughts? Oh, Kuchar. You wanted some Kuchar knowledge?
yeah. Well, I know that he's played well here. He's a guy that was, I guess, he got a sponsor's exemption to play here. He's basically the very last person in the field. The 72nd and final spot into the field this week.
Holy
He
smokes.
has a great history here. Like, he
Like
has played, like, fantastic here.
it's almost sickening.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wish I could show you what I'm looking at.
He is the cheapest person in the entire DFS, uh, pool at $6,000, and like I said, he was the very last person added in, but, it suits his game. He obviously, knows his way around
Holy
this track.
cow.
He has 7 top 10s and 13. Wait, hold on, what does this say? He won in 2014, sure, 10 years ago, and has collected a total of 7 top 10s and 13 top 10s in 20 prior starts. He has made the cut in 5 of his 6 starts this season, and he was 18th at the Valero, Texas Open. How do we feel? Yeah, Buzzy likes Kuchar. I mean, I was looking like, I'll tell you one thing that I'm for sure probably just gonna bet is Kuchar top 40 is like minus 120.
Really? Top 20 is 290. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna add Kuchar
Yeah.
and JT to this
JT
chart.
Poston.
Yeah, not Thomas.
Yeah.
No, forget Thomas.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll let Tapper Cash get all the Justin Thomas action. Not interested. Yeah, I mean, looking at his strokes gained metrics, this is unbelievable. You have to go back to 2007 to where he didn't gain strokes. I don't even want to read these to you because they're absurd. He has gained more than 10 strokes, 1, 2, 3 times in the last 10 years, and he's gained over 5 in, like, 9 of those last 10.
Yeah. I would say
Did
go ahead, throw him in your DFS lineup because he's gonna make the cut. Like, he's more likely than not going to play well, and he's gonna cost you nothing. He's gonna give you a ton of flexibility.
what's his outright? I mean, why can't we, you know? 200 to 1.
Yeah. Take home his third. He's won twice, right? That should be his
Top
third.
I mean, even a top 20 at 290, it feels good. Top 40, yeah, okay. All right. Let's talk DFS. As you can see, I didn't do anything. I wanted to just build live. Um,
150 to 1. That's what I'm seeing on him.
what? Outright?
Yeah.
What is it? Two
150 to 1.
200 on DraftKings, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't pay $5 for a grand just
Yeah.
to
No, yeah. Yeah.
just
I
to
mean,
see?
yeah,
Just to for fun?
I'm gonna throw some shekels at it. Um,
Okay, let's build a little lineup. I hate to just follow in your Kuchar footsteps, but
it's a good foundational piece to
yeah.
have because then it allows you to do anything. Like
I mean, how about an
I have a
yeah.
lineup that I feel really good about with Kuchar in it that I have $1,200 unspent.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be many of those lineups
And
out there.
it uses almost all people that are in the green up there in on your sheet here.
Wow. Double wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
almost all. Yeah. I mean,
is it bad?
I could
It's
take
like
out Lucas Glover and upgrade him.
Scheffler is so expensive. 13,000?
Yeah, just skip him. Put
But
Xander
I
instead. Take
ugh.
Xander instead. Although I will say, well, I don't think you'd be able to get him. No.
You want me to go Xander and Scotty.
No.
You can't. You can't. You don't have
Let me
enough
see
money.
what I can do here. Yeah. Yeah.
But I love Scotty, man. 13 is just so much. You're right. 13 is too much. Um,
So put in your guy. You could go Xander, Tommy, Fleetwood, Berger.
no,
You can
I'm
get
going
all those guys.
um oh gosh, imagine I go Ryan Gerard and really have some money. Oh man, I could go Fleetwood, huh? Jason Day's not on here, and he's kind of been playing lights out.
So let me just read this one off based on I made a couple adjustments while we've been kind of talking through stuff. So I got Fleetwood, Glover, Kuchar, JT Poston, Xander, Sepp Straka.
Yeah, yeah, that feels good. Yeah.
I could upgrade Straka to Spieth if I wanted. I don't know that I do want to, but I could.
Burger
Like,
M.
and that's the thing. I put JT Poston after Buzzy's. I had Burger there before, so you could have Burger there. I trimmed off. I went down to JT Poston. That Glover spot is one I could upgrade. I could go up to if you liked Harmon, but
Yeah, there's a lot of like guys in the 7 and 8s that just are so very playable. Like I'm looking at this and I don't love it, but I
what's going on with Siwoo Kim? Has he been injured? Like, what's his deal?
I don't know. Um I think he popped up once.
Yeah.
No, he's popped up twice, but yeah, very low, 63 each time. Yeah. Um I don't know. But yeah, falls in the cracks for me. Um hmm. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, do we feel any way about Justin Rose? Didn't come up, but after last week, are we
I'm. It's kind of a stay away for me. I mean, look, he's a fine player, but the master, like he is a guy that's just plays exceptionally well at Augusta National. Like, I'm not gonna expect too much of a carryover here.
okay.
I would be pretty surprised to see him get a top 10
Okay.
here.
Jason Day is the last guy I want to talk about because a really good year this year, but I don't know if he popped up at all. Yeah. So what's what's keeping Jason Day away? Because he was okay last week, right?
Yeah, I
Ninth
think
round,
middle of the pack.
8th.
8th.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he was another guy that just kinda snuck into the top 10.
putted really well
Yeah, him and
around the
Xander.
green.
It's like they weren't following them at all.
18th cut, 23rd, 30th, 9th, 22nd. So
Yeah.
just kind of there at Harbor Town. But with as well as he's
Here
been
we go.
playing, maybe what's his
Here we go, what Buzzy says. He's never built a DFS lineup, but, why did we talk ourselves out of Rye? Because I think, we liked him. What was it with Rye that we, talked ourselves out of? The putting?
I'll
Or maybe he's
go.
been pretty poor here?
It was either that or he hadn't played here. He had a 48th here 2 years ago. Um, 27th cut, 14th, 11th, 4 why did we talk ourselves out? I don't know. We'll have to watch the tape back because lack of experience here is about the only thing that would maybe hold you back, but, maybe price? I don't know. I don't hate it. DFS, I think it's worth it. Morikawa, Henley, McCarthy, Rye, Glover, and Taylor? Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like there's so many guys about 8,000 that if you throw some cheap ones in, then it just opens up for
Yeah.
25 dudes, and it's hard to
I don't
narrow
I
it
mean,
down.
Kuchar is basically gonna be a foundational piece
Yeah.
of all my DFS lineups,
Yeah.
which I usually do too. I'll usually do 2 lineups and then, like, enter into it, sprinkle around a handful of contests, so
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm content. I think, I hate to say it, but I think Scotty maybe he's not going to win. Maybe I'm just blinded. Maybe I'm blinded by what was once Scotty. Maybe he doesn't have it anymore.
well, look, he's still a fine golfer. It's what I said at the beginning. He can't win every tournament. Like,
Yeah.
he is he gonna finish top 10? Probably.
Has he won this year? I don't think he's won this year.
I mean, he's more likely than not going to finish top 10 here. Like,
Yeah.
sure, but,
Fourth, second.
I'm
Yeah, he
not
hasn't
rushing
won.
to bet outrights at 4 to 1. Like, that's crazy. It's
It is.
crazy.
It is. It is crazy. What would Tiger have been in his heyday? Was Tiger 4 to 1? Was Tiger less? I mean, what like is this crazy for historically in the PGA or is this just Tiger 2.0?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say Tiger 2.0 yet. Like, because I don't know, and I'll probably get some heat about saying this. I think there's a lot more. I mean, not to diminish anything Tiger accomplished. I do think overall the field has a lot more talent than it did, especially, before Liv kind of stole some guys away.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're a LeBron over Jordan guy for the same reason then, right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Good,
Among
good.
other reasons, but yeah.
Okay. Good. Glad glad we don't have to argue about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna put out a final thoughts tweet. I'll link this video to it.
Yeah, we need to get
Um,
Matt Kuchar in here somehow on this,
yeah, I'll
sheet.
I'll I'll add him at the bottom.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Yeah, let me screenshot this because I know it's gonna go away when I leave. Okay. Well, any final thoughts? Any final words from you?
No, I mean, another, fun stream here. I think we, just almost got to, tallied up almost about 500 views, so, appreciate that, everybody who tuned in, listened to 2, knuckleheads babble about golf and DFS and gambling, so, it's been a lot of fun. look forward to what's next week's oh, the Punta Cana? Is that
You know me,
yeah,
I'm a week at a time.
Corrales Punta Cana, and then the Zurich Classic, which I think that is the one that uses the is that either the two-man teams or the what's the other scoring?
I do not know.
Oh god, this is gonna drive me nuts.
It's like a fake event?
No, 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 no. Stableford.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
state. There's a Stableford. I think that's the Zurich, but I could be wrong. Anyway, we'll get into that as we go on during the schedule. But we have our first major out of the way. Oh, it's the Barracuda. That's what it is. The Barracuda uses the Stableford
Okay.
scoring, so that'll be fun. But yeah, no, like I said, thanks to everybody who showed up. We'll be running this back, every week throughout the PGA season. So thanks again for checking us out. We'll see you next week.